Welcome back to the quiet within. In this noisy world, you've chosen to pause, to breathe, and to look inward. That takes courage. Whether you are here for the first time or returning like an old friend, I am grateful you are with me. Today, let's walk together through an ancient teaching that still speaks to the deepest questions of our lives. Imagine that right now a silent conversation is taking place in your mind, and the content of this conversation is quietly determining your mood when you wake up tomorrow, the people you'll meet next week, and even the direction of the rest of your life. Sounds a bit unbelievable, right? But this is precisely one of the core truths that the Buddha realized under the Bodhi tree 2,500 years ago. I am Sein. I used to teach psychology at a university for many years. Back then, I thought science could explain all the mysteries of the human mind. Until one day, at the peak of my life success, I suddenly felt a deep emptiness. That feeling was like standing on a mountaintop, only to realize I had been climbing the wrong mountain all along. So I let go of all my worldly achievements and began my inner journey of cultivation. Over these years, I've discovered an astonishing fact. Those secrets about happiness and inner peace that modern psychology has worked so hard to study, the Buddha had already explained clearly in the simplest language over 2,000 years ago. Today, I want to share with you 7 Buddhist wisdoms that changed my life. These truths are not profound philosophical theories, but practical guides you can use in your life starting today. The Buddha once said, "We are the product of our own thoughts." The mind is the foundation of everything, and everything is created by the mind. If you are searching for inner peace, if you are tired of being chased by anxiety and worries, if you want to find your own piece of tranquility in this noisy world, then what comes next might just be the answer you've been waiting for. Let's begin. In ancient India, there was a young man named Thaka who was the most foolish among Buddha's disciples. How foolish was he? He couldn't even remember a simple verse. He'd learn it in the morning and forget it by afternoon. Other disciples mocked him, and even his own brother urged him to give up practice, saying, "You are not cut out for this, just go home and farm." Thaka was heartbroken, sitting at the temple gate crying. Buddha saw this, walked over and asked him, "Why are you crying?" Thaka said, "World-honored one, I am too stupid. I can't learn anything. Is there no hope for me?" Buddha smiled and handed him a broom, saying, "You don't need to remember anything, just sweep the floor every day, and while sweeping, silently recite in your heart, 'Sweep away the dust.'" Thaka swept like this for many years. Every day, every stroke, he planted the same seed in his heart. Sweep away the dust. Sweep away the dust. A miracle happened. One day, he suddenly attained enlightenment. He understood that external dust can be swept away, and the greed, anger, and confusion within the heart can likewise be swept away. That broom wasn't sweeping the ground, it was sweeping his own heart later. Thaka became one of the most deeply enlightened among Buddha's disciples. What does this story tell us? The thoughts you repeat every day are like seeds. One day, they will grow into towering trees. The seeds Jolapancho planted every day were seeds of purity, so he harvested the fruits of purity. When I teach psychology, I often tell my students about a concept called neuroplasticity. Simply put, whatever you think about repeatedly, your brain will grow in that direction. This is strikingly consistent with what the Buddha taught 2,500 years ago. Now, close your eyes and think, over the past week, what seeds have you planted in your heart? Were they seeds of gratitude, kindness, and peace, or seeds of complaint, anxiety, and fear? No need to blame yourself, no need to judge. Just see, just notice. Because awareness itself is the beginning of change. Starting today, try to consciously choose the seeds you want to plant. Every morning when you wake up, say to yourself in your heart, "Today I choose peace. Today I choose kindness. Today I choose gratitude." These seemingly simple thoughts, accumulated day by day, will completely transform the soil of your life. In the Buddha's time, there was a city that was frequently invaded by enemies. The city lord was troubled, and sought advice from a wise man. The wise man asked him, "Is anyone guarding your city gate?" The city lord said yes, but the soldiers guarding the gate often doze off, and sometimes they even get bribed by the enemy. The wise man said, "That is where the problem lies. The city gate is the throat of the city. If the gatekeeper doesn't do his job, even the sturdiest walls are useless." Our minds also have a city gate. Buddhism calls it the six sense organs: the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and consciousness. Every day, countless pieces of information flood into our hearts through these six doors. Bad news in the headlines, arguments on social media, neighbors' gossip, melodramatic television, drama plots. We think these things just pass by after we see them and won't have any impact. But the Buddha tells us that everything that enters the mind leaves a trace. It is like dripping ink into clear water. One or two drops aren't noticeable, but drop too many, and the whole glass of water turns black. I have a friend whose daily habit after retirement was watching the news from morning till night. All kinds of disasters, conflicts, and negative news. He didn't miss a single one. 6 months later, he became increasingly anxious, couldn't sleep at night, and always felt like the world was falling apart and life was meaningless. Later, he came to chat with me, and I suggested he do an experiment. Don't watch any news for a week and use that time to take walks. Listen to music and have tea with old friends. A week later, he called me and said, "Sayan, I feel like a completely different person." It turns out the world didn't get worse. I was just feeding myself poison all along. Guarding the gate of your mind doesn't mean isolating yourself from the world. It means consciously choosing what can come in and what should be kept outside. Today, I'd like to invite you to do a small exercise. Over the next week, pay attention to the information you receive each day. The content that makes you feel anxious, angry, and frustrated, try to reduce it a bit. The content that makes you feel calm, warm, and empowered, try to increase it a bit. You'll find that just this simple adjustment can bring about huge changes in your inner world. There is a Zen story that goes like this. A general went to visit a Zen master and asked, "What is heaven? What is hell?" The Zen master looked him up and down and said, "With your attitude, rude and disrespectful, why should I tell you?" The general flew into a rage, drew his sword, and was about to strike the Zen master. The Zen master calmly said, "This is hell." The general froze. His sword suspended in mid-air, he suddenly understood something, slowly sheathed his sword, and bowed deeply to the Zen master. The Zen master smiled and said, "This is heaven. You see, from hell to heaven, it is just a single thought away." The general's first reaction was anger, was to draw his sword. This was an unconscious and automatic response. But the moment he stopped and became aware of what he was doing, he woke up from unconsciousness. Each of us has such a general living inside our hearts. Someone said something that made you uncomfortable, and you immediately got fired up. Your kid didn't do things as you expected, and you started nagging right away. Your partner forgot a small thing, and you instantly dug up old grudges. These reactions come too fast. So fast that before we even have time to think, we've already said hurtful words and done things we regret. Buddhism calls this state ignorance, meaning not understanding, not being awake, living as if in a dream. And the purpose of practice is to wake up from this great dream. How do we wake up? It is simple. Insert a pause between reaction and action. Next time when you feel anger, anxiety, or fear, try taking 3 deep breaths. Just these 3 breaths are enough time to pull yourself out of unconscious reactions and see clearly what is happening. Then ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Where does this feeling come from? Is there another way I can respond to this? This pause is the beginning of awakening. Every time you successfully pause, you reclaim a bit of freedom from the prison of unconsciousness. Over time, you'll find that you are no longer a slave to your emotions, but the master of them. The Buddha's life was not smooth sailing. He left the palace to practice and was seen as unfilial by his father. After his enlightenment, he traveled around teaching and was mocked and attacked by many people. His cousin Devadatta even tried to harm him multiple times. Once Devadatta released a raging elephant, intending to trample the Buddha. When the elephant charged over, all the disciples scattered in fear, but only the Buddha stood in place, completely still. Something strange happened. That raging elephant ran up to the Buddha, suddenly stopped, then knelt down on the ground, becoming as docile as a kitten. The disciples asked the Buddha, "Weren't you afraid?" Buddha said, "Fear comes from resistance. When you stop resisting, fear loses its power." This story has given me such great inspiration. The difficulties, setbacks, and pain we encounter in life are like that raging elephant, looking fierce and ready to trample us into mush. Our instinctive reaction is to run away, to resist, to complain about why it is always me who is unlucky. But the Buddha taught us another possibility: face it, accept it, and then ask yourself, what is this difficulty trying to teach me? I know a lady who developed a serious health condition when she was 60. At first, she broke down, feeling that fate was too unfair to her. Later, she started learning Buddhist teachings, and gradually, her mindset changed. She said to me, "Sayin, this experience was the best teacher in my life. It taught me what is truly important, taught me to live in the moment, taught me to cherish every moment with my family. Without this experience, I might still be worrying about those trivial little things." She recovered later, but more importantly, she became a completely different person. More peaceful, more enlightened, more grateful. Suffering itself has no meaning, but we can give it meaning. Next time you encounter difficulties, try looking at it from a different angle. Don't ask why me, but ask what this is trying to teach me. This simple shift can turn stumbling blocks into stepping stones and curses into blessings. The Buddha once told a story. A man was being chased by a tiger. In his panic, he ran without looking and fell off a cliff. Luckily, he grabbed onto a vine on the cliff wall, temporarily saving his life. But when he looked down, there was another tiger waiting for him at the bottom of the cliff. Looking up, the tiger that had been chasing him was glaring at him from the edge of the cliff. To make matters worse, 2 mice were gnawing at the vine. Just then, he noticed a wild strawberry on the cliff wall, bright red and giving off an enticing fragrance. He reached out, picked the strawberry, and put it in his mouth. "So sweet," he said. This story sounds a bit absurd, right? On the verge of danger and still in the mood to eat strawberries. But this is exactly what the Buddha wanted to tell us. There will always be tigers in life, always cliffs, always vines that are breaking. If we only focus on those dangers and fears, we'll miss the strawberries right in front of us. Gratitude is the ability that lets us see the strawberries. I have a habit. Every night before bed, I silently count 3 things from today that are worth being grateful for. Sometimes it is big things, like good news or a pleasant gathering. But more often, it is small things. The coffee at breakfast smells great. The birds outside the window sound lovely. My spouse peeled an apple for me. At first, I thought this exercise was kind of silly. What is there to be grateful for about these little things? But after sticking with it for a few months, I noticed a magical change. It is like my eyes had been refocused. The beauty I couldn't see before is now everywhere. Scientific research has confirmed this too. People who regularly practice gratitude have more active pleasure centers in their brains, better sleep quality, and even improved physical health. What the Buddha knew 2,500 years ago. Modern science has finally caught up to today. I want to invite you to start this practice too. You don't need to write it down. You don't need to tell anyone. Just count silently in your heart. 3 things. 3 things every day. Stick with it for a month, and you'll find that happiness isn't far away. It is right where you are willing to see it. In Tibetan Buddhism, there is a practice called visualization. Practitioners imagine themselves transforming into the form of Avalokiteshvara during meditation, with a compassionate face, gentle eyes, radiating warm light from the heart, illuminating all suffering beings. At first, it is just imagination, but as the practice deepens, those qualities of compassion and wisdom gradually seep into the practitioner's daily life, until one day they realize they've truly become more compassionate and wiser. This isn't magic, this is the science of the mind. Modern neuroscience has discovered that when we vividly imagine an action, the areas of the brain that activate are almost the same as when we actually perform that action. Athletes mentally rehearse every movement before a competition. Musicians silently practice their scores in their minds. These all follow the same principle. Whatever kind of person you want to become, rehearse that image in your mind. Want to become more patient? Close your eyes and imagine yourself in a situation that drives you crazy, staying calm and smiling. See yourself taking deep breaths. See yourself speaking in a gentle tone. Feel that sense of composure. Want to become more peaceful? Imagine yourself sitting by a tranquil lake, your heart as clear and transparent as the water. No matter what happens outside, your inner self remains steady as a mountain. Spend a few minutes each day doing this kind of visualization, and you'll find that the person you want to become is gradually turning into the real you. This is the power of the mind. Whatever you rehearse in your heart, you will encounter in your life. The Buddha had a disciple named Ananda, who was his closest attendant. Ananda had a problem. He always felt he wasn't good enough. Other disciples had attained enlightenment, but he hadn't. Other disciples had supernatural powers, but he had nothing. He often felt frustrated and blamed himself for this. One day, he couldn't help but ask the Buddha, world-honored one, "Am I really useless?" The Buddha looked at him, his eyes full of compassion, and said, "Ananda, do you know, among all the disciples, you are the kindest one. You have taken care of me for so many years, never once complaining. You are so gentle and courteous to every visitor. Aren't these the most precious qualities?" Ananda heard this, and tears streamed down his face. He had been comparing his own weaknesses to others' strengths, forgetting to see his own goodness. Many of us are Ananda towards others. We can be very tolerant. When a friend makes a mistake, we say it is okay. Just be careful next time. When a child fails an exam, we say it is fine. Just do your best. But towards ourselves, we are as harsh as a tyrant. Say one wrong thing, and we can curse ourselves in our hearts all day. Make one wrong decision, and we can regret it for years. In Buddhism, there is a word called compassion. We often think compassion is for others, but actually compassion must first be for ourselves. A person who doesn't love themselves, how can they truly love others? A person full of self-criticism, how can they be full of goodwill towards the world? Starting today, try saying some gentle words to yourself. When you make a mistake, tell yourself, "It is okay. Everyone makes mistakes. It is part of learning." When you feel exhausted, tell yourself, "You've worked hard enough. Take a rest." When you feel not good enough, tell yourself, "You are already good enough, just the way you are now." This is not self-indulgence, this is self-compassion. When you learn to be gentle with yourself, you'll find that a kind of strength will grow within your heart, a soft yet resilient strength. This strength will support you through all the storms of life. Dear friends, we've walked through these 7 wisdoms together. Let's take a moment to review them. Your thoughts are the seeds of destiny. You reap what you sow. Guard the gates of your mind. Be careful what you let into your heart. Wake up from unconscious reactions. Create a pause between stimulus and response. Turn stumbling blocks into stepping stones. Every difficulty is a blessing in disguise. Gratitude is the shortcut to happiness. Learn to see the strawberries in life. Rehearse in your mind who you want to become. Your inner world will create your reality. Be gentle with yourself. Compassion starts with you. These 7 wisdoms are not some profound theories, but a way of living you can start practicing today. The Buddha said, "I only point out the path. Whether you walk it or not is up to you." I am Sayin. Thank you for your company today in this noisy world. May you find that peaceful place within your own heart. See you next time. Lastly, I wonder to your question, if starting from today, you could only change one thought, which one would you choose to change? Write your answer in the comments. Let's share and grow together.